Good afternoon and welcome to the program today. I am Bosin Amafaye here in Lagos. Let's get started. Nigeria's sovereign fund in credit tie-up with London-based Guarantor to unlock infrastructure funding for Africa's most populous country. And key rating calls for Moody's Investor Services are pending on the United Kingdom, China and South Africa. And countdown begins for West Africa Energy Cooperation Summit, scheduled for Abidjan later this month. Now, this is what the rest of the programming looks like. Let's start with the markets. Two of Nigeria's largest lenders and Tier 1 banks, GT and Access Bank, has given notice of board meetings to consider their financial statements of 2016. Today, GT Bank says its directors will meet on January 25th, while Access Bank gave notice via the stock exchange that the board of directors will meet next day, January 26th. Meantime, the stock market here in Lagos turned green for today after a faltering start since Tuesday. Take a look at the bourses as we're getting started. Now, major ones across Africa, the Nigerian market about 0.1% in the green, above 26,000. The South African market was one of the best performer on the continent today. About an hour ago, trading 1.08 higher, around 50,000, just a shy of 51,000 level. The market is about 2 hours to close in Joburg. The Egyptian front, the markets closed traditionally for Friday, will reopen along with the rest of the GCC countries or the Middle Eastern markets tomorrow, Saturday. Meantime, the Kenya Stock Exchange Thursday closed negative 0.62%, 131.45 reading on the Nairobi Stock Exchange All-Share Index. Now let's step into the Gulf region. Take a look at the Middle Eastern market closed today for the weekend. However, Dubai financial market saw its capitalization or market value rise more than 12% in 2016. That brings it to about 337.6 billion dirhams. Meantime, the DFM's general index increased 12.1% to 3,531 at the end of last year. Now, look at how the markets in the Middle East are finished off yesterday, and you can see that with from the Abu Dhabi market all the way down to the Saudi making a gentle comeback before Friday market close for the prayers over there. That's a bit of a snapshot for the Middle East. Check through those markets again on Monday and see how things begin to look like from the weekend. Let's step into Europe, where the bourses were moving south on the first Friday of the new year on the back of heavy economic data from the United States to China, Germany and France, and a number of corporate news kicking in on investors, Samsung and Apple, as well as Sanofi. So let's choose some of this together with my colleague at the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, Conrad Bilson. Good afternoon, Conrad. Welcome to the program. Let's start from Europe, where you are not quite sharing news of Germany's weak manufacturing orders for December just released and France's trade deficit. Talk us through these two key backward-looking data and what they mean looking forward.
Well, Bosun, German manufacturing companies got 2.5% more new orders in December compared, 2.5% fewer new orders, of course. They said it was not so good news. The number declined from November to December. That's a bit of a warning, of course, but we have to see also that the November numbers had been on a record high, and there were not many economists out there believing that German factories would be able to beat this. And it's not an indicator that we are seeing significant weakness in the German manufacturing sector. The situation remains solidly strong. The French trade deficit narrowed in December, which is a piece of good news because it means that French exports increased. So this data combined underlines an overall picture we've been talking about all week. The situation in Germany remains strong and France is on the way of improvement. This also was reflected by those purchasing managers indices we saw this week. The mood among purchasing managers in Germany and France is relatively upbeat for the current situation and relatively upbeat for the future. Let me also remind our viewers that the most important piece of data coming in this week will be coming in this afternoon from the United States. The job numbers will be updated in the US. An estimated amount of 170,000 new jobs were created in December. The unemployment rate is expected to come in at 4.7%. Any number significantly better than this would, of course, immediately spark speculation about interest rates in the US rising more quickly and potentially more often than people on the markets reckon at the moment.
Yes, in about a minute or two, Conrad, we will chew to the non-farm payroll. But again, let's talk about a little bit of some corporate news making the headlines. It looks like the phone wars between Apple in the U.S., Samsung in South Korea is getting heated up. Early overnight, we got the Samsung Q4 earnings beating the street, as it were. At the same time, Apple Incorporated says it's opening shops in South Korea, planning to snatch some of Samsung's lunch. What do you make of this struggle between these two giants from Asia to United States?